Uh, another one. I don't know if you watched this fight. Curmel Moton, man, he kind of came back from that debacle that he had where he came in super overweight. You know, people made memes of him being super fat and all this other stuff. And he came out and he did what he's supposed to do. He dominated that dude. I think it was a first or second round knockout, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, I don't know if you got to saw that fight, Coach, but you know, we on this channel we like to look at the future. You know, the guys who ain't getting all the shine. You know what I'm saying? And Cameron Moulton is a fighter that will be a name one day. So um if you saw the fight, you know, even if you didn't, but what does this mean for Cameron Moulton? I mean, coming off of that debacle that he had, you know, him coming back and basically kind of revamping and getting back to business. I mean, as a coach, from a coach's perspective, if you were his coach, you know, how would you feel? What would you be your message to him and, you know, before the match and after the match?
Uh, I ain't gonna lie. If I was his coach, I would tell him, great. That was a great representation of self control. Because a lot of people run into a brick wall and they just stop. They don't try to climb over it. They don't try to find a way to go around it. They don't try to build a door through it or none of that. They just hit a brick wall and that's that. This is a great example of self control. Great example of how you would want your fighter to represent himself. After something like that, you go on the ring and you dispose of any opponent they put in front of you. Silence the naysayers, kill all the questions. You said it was just a miscommunication and everything, and he got in the ring and showed it was a miscommunication. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be on point. I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm gonna make my weight, and I'm gonna get to 7-0. Like I say, this is a great representation of self control, especially coming from a younger fighter, because we know a lot of days these younger generations they don't handle pressure well. And Curmel Moton continued to be who he was. He didn't get on social media. He didn't get anti fingers. He didn't get Twitter fingers or none of that. He stuck to the plan. He got his opportunity to prove his naysayers wrong. He got an opportunity to get in there and still show that, hey, I'm gonna be a great. And I did see some of this fight, and I don't think he missed a beat from his last fight. He got in there, he disposed of the dude the way he's been doing all the way up until now. And I'm kind of ready for him to start taking those step up fights. I believe it's time. And then I know once he takes that step up fight, we'll really get to see what he's really working on. Because right now, when you're going through your first, you know, 8, 9, 10 fights, you kind of riding high off that I'm young, I got stamina, I got energy, I got power, I got this, I got that. But as you start to get into those step up fights, 11, 12, 13, 14, you start to really sculpt yourself and who you are as a fighter. Like I say, right now, everybody's excited. He has that tremendous power. He has a solid chin, of course. He has those. He can be fast. He can be powerful. He can be slick. But when you take those step up fights, sometimes you can't be sporadic and be all over the place. You kind of got to pick a fight plan and go with the one that works, because you don't want to be in there being this type of fighter, that type of fighter. Then all of a sudden you get in there with a guy who can do that with you, and you get beat because you can't get into a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great performance. Way to show some class, Curmel Moton. He's a great representation of the future of boxing, and hopefully he can continue to be who he is, and he'll turn into that shining star we think he can be.
That's facts. I like the bounce back from that fighter. You know, a lot of people don't really talk about the mental aspect, and mentally, you know, seeing this, you know, young man bounce back from that, he didn't say nothing. He just got back to the gym and got back to it. So that shows a level of maturity. That shows he has proper guidance, because a lot of these fighters are not being guided the right way. He has the proper guidance, um, and he gonna be a problem. Now, hopefully, he grow a little bit taller, because he 5'2". I didn't know he was 5'2". That boy short than the mud, but you know, you know what I'm saying. I'm looking at his box ring. I'm like, oh, this boy 5'2", man. Like, you know,
I have to
so
go down and wait after a while, my boy.
Yeah, he gonna have to do something else, man. But you can't knock the talent. You can't knock the skill. Um, he gonna be a problem. If he stay focused and he stay on track. You got anything else you want to add, Coach?
Uh, yeah. One more thing. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Fighters, please, if you're gonna be a switch hitter, learn how to switch hit. Looking at Brandon Figueroa last night just made me disgusted. I'm typically a small time switch hitter when I train myself or when I'm training my fighters. I like to get them in the switch hitter mode so they can understand like, hey, equilibrium, balance, and footwork is everything in the ring. But when you go look at switch hitting videos from boxers, Brandon Figueroa was doing it terribly wrong last night. He couldn't even get into a rhythm because he was so focused on trying to switch hit, and it was terrible. You're not even supposed to notice when somebody switches in the ring. That's how fluid switch hitters are supposed to be. You're not supposed to notice he went southpaw left, southpaw to orthodox or orthodox back to southpaw. You're not supposed to notice that. And last night it was very evident that he was trying to switch it and it wasn't working. But again, my bad. I had to get that out there because I forgot to make that statement to my fans out there of the boxing world. So don't do what Brandon Figueroa did. That's not switch hitting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he was doing. People try stuff that to make themselves look a certain way, and you can't be doing stuff like that when you getting the brakes beat off of you. I'm just saying that's just my 2 cents. Shout out to 2 cents. But
Facts.
like I said, man, we reached the end. Man, we reached the end of the podcast. Man, y'all continue to follow us. Continue to stay with us on this journey. I told y'all this is the genesis, but this is the revelation of this particular video. We will continue to stay on y'all head in 2025. We are not playing. When I say that, I mean that there are more things to come. There are great things to come. You know what I mean? That, you gonna have to just stay and keep checking on the channel, and you're gonna see these things just transpire. You're gonna pop up on here, and we might have a new intro. You're gonna pop up on here, and we may be interviewing a fighter. You may pop up on here, and we may have a certain location to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? So continue to stay with us on this journey. Continue to support us as we go support y'all. If you're a hater, keep hating. You know what I mean? Go in that comment section, keep hating. We appreciate you too. You know, and if you got any positive criticism, like, to help us get our channel better,